tonight, we need to be a little bit brief. And I'm not saying cut yourself short. Let's just stay away, and we'll get to the next service so we can get everybody's opinion on it.
Not everybody.
Hi there. I feel I normally not someone that really find myself showing up in one of these, but I seem to live kind of in the epicenter of this neighborhood. I live at 3300 North Halstead, and I bear witness to quite a bit in the 2 years that I've lived here. But this year, there's a little something different in the area. And maybe it's a little media-driven, maybe it's not. But the crux of what's going on here, to me, from my point of view, seems to be that what started off as really a non-police issue. We do have a lot of people in the neighborhood. There's a lot of people walking the streets. A lot of people are here for the entertainment purposes you talked about, and a lot of people are just simply here. And you know, I get up early in the morning to go to work. They're still here, and there's I don't know about anything.
Who's they?
They means everybody.
Okay.
So did everyone of color leave the building?
I'm just saying, you know, I see in the neighborhood there are efforts to find activities for everybody to do. Not everybody wants to go into a bar. Not everybody wants to go drink all night, and it's fine. But for people to just be simply, they are loitering on the streets, you know, what do we find for them to do? And I know there are attempts here. There's a center on Halstead. I see the night industry setting up shop, things like that, but seem to be overrun completely by a huge influx of people coming into this neighborhood. It is a great neighborhood. There is an obvious attraction, but you know, I'm a robbery victim myself. Pretty violent when you're on these side streets. I worry every morning when I come out of my side gate onto the street to go to work at 5 in the morning sometimes. You know, and we see a lot of the weirdness going on here. But I echo some of the early sentiments that this might not all just be a police problem. Just throw it on their shoulders. They don't really have the tools to take care of things before they're crimes. They can only take care of things once they are crimes. So I think we'd be more constructive in working in ways to find out how to prevent the situation that creates the crime in the first place. Sorry, my name is Brian. I just live on Halstead and bear witness to this every day. So.
My name is Brian Hayes, and first, I'm happy that everyone showed up here tonight to express their solutions to resolve the fact that our community does not feel safe. It's easy for individuals to post their frustration on a Facebook page or make offhanded remarks, but it's another to show up here today and work for positive change. So I think it's I hope that all of us this evening can agree that what makes our community great is the fact that we're so diverse, that we welcome all genders, races, ethnicities, and sexual orientations to our community. I know that many of you here today are angry and frustrated, that many feel that other races or youths are to blame or the cause of every incident we face. But I ask each of you today that when you step up to this podium, that you ask yourself, is what I'm about to say going to resolve the problem? Am I going to unite our community? Am I offering up a solution? It's a lot harder to provide a solution than it is just to criticize or put blame. With that being said, I'd like to offer up a possible solution that I know will make me feel safer in the area and may also assist with not having as many cops on the ground. So what I'd like to suggest is the installation of emergency police call box pillars similar to those used on collegiate campuses. I believe this type of community resource would address three key areas: community involvement as watchdogs, quick access to local police and medical departments, and hopefully a possible deterrent for future violence and crime. You know, it's sometimes people say, well, you know, people will just walk by and will just press the button. Yes, that may be the case, but if you get mugged or jumped, generally they're probably going to take your cell phone. So who are you going to call if something bad happens? Or how are you going to call? So with the emergency pillars, generally you press the button, it contacts you immediately to dispatch. Generally a light will go off, and then sometimes on some campuses, when you press the button, there's a camera that will automatically start recording as well. I would recommend that if you do go in this route, it would be advantageous to have involvement from local community organizations, of course the police, and those that live in the neighborhood to determine the appropriate placement of each pillar. Our elected officials, community organizations, and police departments cannot change human behavior. But what you can do is provide greater access and response to intervention of violent acts and criminal behavior and emergency medical needs. Try as some may want, we cannot make you grow up quicker. We can't sober up an intoxicated individual, and we can't be on-the-spot doctors or police officers. But what we can do as a community is be watchdogs for our brothers and sisters of every color, age, gender, or sexual orientation, because crime is crime, and pain is pain, and after every storm, there's a rainbow, so let this be our opportunity to celebrate.
I just had a couple of quick questions for the commander, actually. I'd like to know what the actual statistics are on the trend as far as violent crime in the area is, like what's the trend over the last year or two. And secondly, is there any evidence of organized street gang activity involving any of these? I know the victim in the video said today that his attackers were gay, but I wanted to know if there's any evidence of gang activity in any of these assaults.
For the most part, we're going to take questions later in the crowd solving part, but you said there's gang.
Well, I know people admit that there was possible gang activity involved, and I wonder if there is any evidence of organized gang activity in any of these assaults.
The detectives are still investigating, but at this point, there's people getting many indications.
Okay, right.
But we'll answer those afterwards, Gary. We want to do a minute.
Hello everyone, my name is Joshua Stark. For what people have been doing, they have been facing the stage. I think that I should face everyone, as everyone should hear my face as I speak. Thank you.
Take off your glasses.
I am going to read an excerpt from To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. So the 28-year-old child brings a century that proves something, that a gang of wild animals can be stopped simply because they're still human. Maybe we need a police force of children. In this event, I have seen many things happen in this neighborhood. This neighborhood is a haven. It is not only a business district, it is a place for LGBT youth in general to come, to feel safe. I was once a former homeless youth. I have been homeless 7 times, on and off, in this neighborhood alone.
And I work my ass off.
Because I have been homeless, I have been looked at as a tool of sex, of objects. I have been looked at as a tool of what the fuck is he doing here? I have been looked at as an individual who is stared down upon because I am dirty, because I have no place to sleep, because there are no shelters. There are no shelters in Lakeview that has been able to keep other than the grid. How many of you, raise your hand if you have known about the crib? Raise your hand.
Let's see your picture.
Now, I see only a few hands. If you have any questions of what crib is, ask the Nightmare Street. How many of you have actually stopped at the Blue Van at Halstead and Belmont and asked, what is this, rather than walk by in disgust? How many of you know what the Broadway Youth Center is? Raise your hand. How many of you have donated to the Broadway Youth Center? How many of you know that the youth that you are talking about go to the Broadway Youth Center?